Hey, Santosh, is that you?
Hey, yes, this is me. Hey, guys. Literally just started the space. We have a few more seconds. Oh, now it is. It's the
Oh yeah,
time.
we've got folks already here. I'm filling up quick. In a minute, I'm gonna ask everyone to share the space. But let's actually, if you're here right now, retweet the space. Let's get some more folks going in here and get us started. I'm excited about this one.
Oh, I'm super excited about this one. I see Midnight Movie Club is here. I send the invite to co-host as well. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've got Hash and Matthew coming up. Santosh, I guess until we get started, I think that's all I'm gonna invite up for now. I don't know if unless
Sure.
folks at Midnight Movie Club want to invite other people up. um, just so we can get the ball rolling because we've got a bunch of people up here. I think that we want to introduce and maybe first set the field up before really getting started. Bill, is that you on the main account?
Yeah, this is me. How's it going, everybody? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, good. I see Matt's here too. If you want to add him, I don't know how many co-hosts you can add. Oh, I see it. He's a
I
speaker
think
now.
we he's a speaker, but we I think they limit us at two. How you doing, Matthew?
Good, I'm here. What's happening, you guys?
Chilling, man. How you
Chilling,
you doing all
bro.
right today?
Chilling. Yeah, running around, kids, life, dealing with Discord, lots of goodness. All good.
Oh
How are you
yeah.
Welcome to
guys?
the NFT space, Matthew.
Yeah, it's nice to be here.
Welcome to the space, Matthew, Bill. Nice to have you guys here,
Yeah,
and
good
I'm
morning, Danny.
excited for. Good morning. I made it on the space. I first of all couldn't find the link. The name is Santosh. Maybe it's a good idea for us to make a nice post, which I can retweet and stuff, because I don't know.
I was
Otherwise, we're
just
going to
about
hear
to do
literally
that.
crickets.
Yeah, I'm going to do that now. Yeah.
Can you guys hear the crickets here where I'm at right now?
Oh yeah. What time is it in South Africa?
It's about 8 p.m.
Oh,
8
right
p.m.
on.
in the evening. Yeah, and your side?
Nice. 10 a.m. in California.
Yeah.
Spectacular day.
Nice. It's gonna be a great day. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
great
sweet
day.
as.
Matthew, are you in the LA area and are you near Bill?
Yeah.
We are. I mean, it's all relative in Los Angeles because on the wrong day at the wrong time, it could be 4 hours apart. But on the right time and on the right day, it's about 15 minutes.
Yeah, I hear
So
that.
true.
Fun fact, I used to live out there in like West LA, so I'm all too familiar with the 405 to the 101 and the whole jazz.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it is a whole vibe.
Yeah, for sure. And so yeah, everybody retweet the space. There's the button on the bottom right. It's the blue plus sign. I just retweeted it, and I feel like we can get started.
Yeah.
We were in the Discord a day or so ago talking about like what we wanted to talk about, and Hash brought up that we should talk about like creativity in the NFT space, and so I think Santosh then made this space titled the Creative NFT Collab, and I think that's a cool like common denominator with our like the two communities that the projects are both building, because we're all creatives, right? And I guess for me, like you're a creative no matter what, like whether you like it or not, you're a creative. Like that's just like if you've never created anything in your life, I don't know how to explain that. It's an anomaly. But some of us lean towards like creativity, and I feel like the folks that are in our projects do that. So I thought that was a good theme to talk about, and yeah, I don't know, I kind of want to get started by uh, you know introducing the folks in here in case there are people that don't know who we are. Me, myself, I'm Brew. I'm just a random sketchy ape that likes to host spaces. Hashless out here is a major creator in the space, has written like packages of code for people to use to like, create their own projects, and is just a legend, but has just been giving free education through YouTube for quite a while. We've got Bill under the Midnight Movie Club account. And Bill, I read your white paper and stuff, but why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll introduce Matthew, and then we can maybe get just chatting.
Yeah, sounds good. So my name is Bill Woodwardy. I'm a writer-director, live in California. And yeah, the Midnite Movie Club is basically our decentralized movie studio. So we're going to be making genre films. So after we mint out, the majority of that money is going to go into the community wallet. And then we're going to be offering a community DAO to vote on creative aspects throughout the filmmaking process. So things from wardrobe choices to casting choices, music cues, stuff like that. We're going to be putting a bunch of various options throughout the process of filmmaking up for a vote. We're also going to be showing like our community exclusive behind the scenes of the process from the beginning to the end. So if you want to like really see how a movie is made and, not just watch like a behind the scenes featurette that's 15 minutes, like we're going to have like kind of weekly updates and as much content as we can. On top of that, we're launching something like we're calling it the Night School. It's kind of like what Daniel does on YouTube, but it's going to be for our community. Whereas he's teaching people about coding and smart contracts, we're going to teach people about filmmaking and give them access to industry professionals. So we're going to be bringing in like agents, managers, producers, different people we can talk to and have the community ask questions to on a firsthand basis. So then it's giving people like globally a chance to talk to some of the the higher ups in Hollywood and ask all the questions that they have. And then we also are building a strong community where people can kind of connect either digitally or in the real world. If there's people that live near you, you can start film groups and go out and make movies. Or if you wanting to keep it more digital, you can swap scripts or post rough cuts of your films, where you can get feedback from other community members. We're just trying to basically bring back fun filmmaking experiences. We just feel like a lot of the movies these days have been sucking. They're all like too long and just too formulaic. So we want to kind of harken back to the times when, creators had more power than the marketing team. So we want to do that through the NFT project and also bring the community along for the ride and have them get involved too.
That is awesome. And Matthew, now I am a fan. I've been I'm maybe dating myself, but I've been around for a minute and when watching movies, I've seen a bunch of things you've been in. But please introduce yourself to folks.
Yeah, my name is Matthew Lillard. I'm an actor. I started acting in high school and then have continued all the way through. I've been in movies like Scream. I was Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. I was in The Descendants. I've been on a TV show the last couple of years called Good Girls. So I'm a professional actor. Bill and I directed a movie called Fat Kid Rules the World. Bill worked on that movie, and we became friends. And on December 21st, he texted me and said, by the way, he's an incredible writer, and I've been trying to buy a script off him for the last 3 years because I want to make his movie, and he won't let me buy it. But on December 21st, 2021, he emailed me. He's like, hey, I want to sit and talk about this NFTs. What do you know about them? And I was like, hell yes, dude, I'm in. So we met the next day for coffee. He pitched me the Midnite Movie Club, and I said yes at the table. So our whole idea is to create a decentralized movie studio in which we take the community wallet and make movies. So we started Discord 5 weeks ago, and here we are. I mean, we're sort of on the grind and building a community, and it's I'm going to just say right now that spaces like this have been a huge opportunity for us because we're trying to build it in a way that's organic. We're not out like sort of buying people. We're sort of not doing a huge promotional thing. I mean, my Twitter, I'm sure we'll get into this at some point, but my Twitter response when I tweeted the first day was really brutal. So you'll see I'm not tweeting the space because I still have to feed my kids as a professional actor, and getting canceled right now is really a thing. And that's how bad the blowback was when I tweeted about Midnite Movie Club. So
that's so interesting. Can I dive in a little bit into that? Because I think that's did you get blowback because like people are like, oh, NFTs, I don't know about that. Was that the response?
Oh, I wish that was the response. Because if it was like, I don't know about that, I would have sat down and like held my own space to be like, this is what it is. This is the glory of NFTs. Like our whole thing is just touching one more time on sort of our North Star. Like we are about utility. We're about community. We are about building something that's never been done in the NFT space that we know of. So, we're doxed. Our intentions are super clear. Our community wallet's making money, making movies. It's not making us money. So I'm like super clear-eyed and full of heart and like ready to go make killer movies. The thing that I got back was, there's a lexicon of FUD out there. NFTs are killing the world. They're killing the environment. It's a Ponzi scheme. You're just trying to take money. You're shilling for somebody and you're making them millions of dollars. Why are you doing this? You're betraying us. And look, I've been very lucky in the social media space. I've been around a long time. I feel like I'm somebody that people like in general. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there who hate me, but in general, I have a lot of goodwill in the world. I have a lot of goodwill in the industry, and I have a lot of goodwill on Twitter and fans. And so, to get punched back so hard, to get punched in the face so hard when I tried to introduce NFTs into my Twitter space, was so bad that we have completely changed the sort of the promotional trajectory of our NFT, which means that we're building slow, we're building organic. We're not like, it's not like I came out and was like, LFG, let's go. And, the world came into our Discord and blew it up. I mean, the first day, we call it Black Monday. I mean, we had 38 people at the end of the day in Discord, and I had, literally tens of thousands of people saying NFTs are the problem with the world, and you're done.
Wow.
So it was brutal. It was a really humbling moment. And look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, Bill and I both stopped and said, maybe this is a mistake. Maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Maybe we are too early into the space. It's like being off the landers on Iwo. I mean, we just got annihilated.
Yeah. Well,
but
first of all, I just want to say huge welcome, because if you went through that and you're still here, that's legit. So
thank you.
Thank you for like being candid and for like hitting that right off the bat, because I think that's an important thing, right? I feel like there's a community around right now in the NFT space. It's this huge community, and there are certain views here and there about people coming in from outside, or people from outside view the NFT community a certain way, and there's like this disconnect. And the bottom line is, for a large amount of people, like, heads aren't ready yet. Like, heads aren't ready, and that's fine, and that's cool. But the fact that you're still here doing it, and you and Bill are like building this, is fantastic. And I want to tap into like deeper into the Midnite Movie Club in a bit, but I want to kind of pass the mic to Daniel really quickly, because I introduced him when we got started, but I want Daniel to tell us about Sketchy Apes, because that's the other side of this conversation that has to do with creativity, and I just want him to kind of go off and let us know about what he wants to tell us about Sketchy Apes.
Yeah, so totally.
Daniel,
Hey, bro. Oh, it's so nice to hear everyone in the space this evening, because I think this is one of the spaces that I really was looking forward to, mainly because I know there's going to be some great conversations regarding, the creativity in this space. And yeah, it's all about creativity. At the end of the day, I see these collections coming out, and I'm thinking to myself, how the hell is two people going to build a game, and they're promising like 3D characters, like A-grade level games, where it takes these studios years and years to perfect games, and they're promising this coming out in months, right? That stuff's not happening. It's simply not going to happen. So what we started, when we started Sketchy Ape, we just wanted to write a book. I love writing books on the side. I love telling stories as well. I guess that's a form of our art, I guess, And I wanted to do it with the community. I thought to myself, it's going to be easy in the beginning, writing a collaborative book. Turns out it's the hardest thing you can do. It really doesn't work well if it's not structured at all. So we went through some kind of learning curves, in writing a book together. I think we have it nailed down now quite nicely, where people can write in the book. The characters that we came up with, indeed, they are apes, and they are not derivative apes. These are their own type of apes. But we felt the ape subject matter was hot at the time, and I drew all these characters by hand, and then scanned them into the computer to generate them, right? But for me, it was just mostly the kind of quality of community members that we wanted to get involved really needed to be organic for this to work. Because if if we placed our collection out there as a hype collection, it would have died down fairly quickly. And I think the success of our collection and the community as it stands right now is the fact that everyone loves being in the space, loves being creative with each other, and loves supporting everyone. You see people coming in the space saying, "Oh man, just did something today and this happened to me," and the whole community responds by, "Oh man, are you okay? We wish you okay." We send them sketchy pages, we support the person. Whereas if you put this in another community that's all about hype, they're going to just say, "Where's the floor?" and ignore your question, because they're not there for each other. They're not there to collaborate. They're not there for being a true community. So I guess that's what inspired everything to kind of do that. And then along the way, man, we got to meet the most amazing people. We got to collaborate with amazing people, and it just shows that the community is currently working. And I spoke to my girlfriend today. I said, I can't believe that people bring out these collections and they just have these sellouts and then they die off. And at the end of the day, collections like ours, it takes very long to kind of mint out, but it's organic in a way where we know we're going to be in a few years' time, right? We know we're going to be here for a very long time because we have actual goals. We have actual things happening at the back. We have some promises that we do deliver on. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you look at it, but I see a lot of people coming on to their collections with a lot of confidence, and confidence is good, but that confidence needs to be backed by something, right? If you have a collection and you're very confident that you're going to create a metaverse, at least have some experience in coding something like a metaverse. Because if you're going out there and saying, yeah, well, you'll just get someone to make it, it's not going to be as good as a product as it's going to be if that was your passion to create something like that. And this is speaking now to Matthew and Bill's project, the Midnite Movie Club, is that's their passion. I mean, that is Bill and Matthew's careers, and they put it into perspective. They put it in their NFT project. And that's why I believe that's going to be a huge success. Much like we do it with artworks and writing and so on, is I'm taking a passion of mine and everyone in the team, everyone in the community, and we're putting it all together. And that's the difference between normal hype collections and collections where community members actually get to be a part of the process, not just sitting in a chair and waiting for the floor to rise because the metaverse news just came out. And that was kind of the goal with it. But yeah, we're an ape collection. Hopefully they look pretty cool. I can't judge my own artwork, so that's for you guys to decide. But we're currently minting. We had 80% minted, so go and grab a sketchy ape and go and get yourself in the Midnite Movie Club's Discord. I don't know if we can share it up here, Brew. I would love for us to have a link to the Midnite Movie Club Discord as well as
Yeah.
ours.
Yeah, let me do that.
Just
I'm
so
going to
people
try
can
to look at
join
their
there.
tweets and see what's up.
And I've heard Birdie spoke and told me that they are giving out whitelists, and you don't really have to stand on your head for it. So you just need to be there and listen to the announcements, right?
Yeah, it's true. And I'll even throw up a giveaway like during the spaces at some point, like a really quick just clickbot giveaway in the Discord. That way we can reward people who showed up today.
Hell yeah. That sounds great. And by the way, so yeah, I pinned, or rather, I put up a tweet that's pinned on the Midnite Movie Club account. If you're in this space and you've been here for just a few days, you may already know. Do your own research. So go there and find the Discord link and go in their Discord. I was in there this morning, and it was really really cool vibe, of course. And let me just say again, Bill, I read your the light paper while I was eating like lunch today, and I love the way that your project is like approaching everything, because it felt very much like you're starting from this position in the paper of like, why are we doing this? You're not like immediately like, we're an NFT and we have a 5,555 collection, and they're like going in that route. You're kind of saying like, we love making movies, and right now we think that movies suck, and we want to work in like genres and create movies the way that we remembered them being created, and that we want to bring that back.
Absolutely, and that was very important to us. It was like starting with the why of the project. Like, why are we doing this? Like, because that's the first thing, most people in the film industry ask us is like, well, why NFTs? Why don't you use, Kickstarter to raise money, and then this app to do this, and then this app to do that, and then you can do this. And we're like, because it solves all those problems. We don't have to spread ourselves across multiple platforms. Also, like, I've talked to a lot of people who backed Kickstarter projects that never came to fruition, and there's no way for them to kind of like get any sort of like of their money back. They're just kind of like, the projects are always like in process. But like, what's nice with a NFT project, if down the road someone decides they no longer want to be a member of the club, they can always resell their NFT. But the technology that underlies NFTs is what allows us to deliver a lot of the utility, like being able to do community votes for creative decisions. Like, the DAO is what we need to do that. Like, the ability to use the NFT as sort of a membership card and like your sort of key to unlock the private parts of the Discord and the content that we're offering. Like, all of these things, it's kind of like having a Swiss Army knife that does everything. So when people ask me why are you doing NFTs, I was like, well, why do you drive your car to work? Why don't you ride a skateboard or a bike? You can do that, so you could walk. Like, nothing's changed. And they're like, well, it's easier. It's like, yeah, exactly. That's my point.
I love that. Yeah, and I feel like the again, back to the paper, like the way y'all structured everything. You have the night school, you have the community, and you have the film production side of it. I love how you divided that up. The way I interpreted this whole thing is basically like, if I'm part of Midnite Movie Club, I get to basically do a choose your own adventure, and with community, make an actual movie, go into production, learn about production while it's being produced, like learn how I can do my own thing, and also just be in a room full of people that are doing that. And I thought that was super powerful.
Yeah, our Venn diagram is like people that love genre films, people that love movies, and people that are into the NFT space. If
That's
we can
awesome.
find those people to bring them together, look, we think we're going to create something that's special. And to Daniel, what you were talking about is 100% on point, which is, we are not a quick flip. I mean, obviously people are going to flip us, and that happens, and the NFT is going to sell on the market. It's going to be great. But our whole point of view is longevity. Our whole point of view is, can you bring community together? I mean, look, as any creative, we talked about like creatives in this space and NFTs as the title of this. To be a creative is really hard, right? The endurance it takes to spend a life creating is brutal. Nobody ever quits acting because they have, because they have so many jobs they don't know what to do, so I quit. What kills actors and what kills artists is the time in between the thing that gives you joy. Like, what do you do in your life in between a gallery opening and your next gallery opening? Right? It's that time in between that kills people in their journey. And so our whole thing is that, can you put people together to span that space, that in fellowship, because doing it alone is virtually impossible. Can you find people like-minded on the same journey that will help you bridge the gap to the next point of creativity? And that's the thing. We think that you can create a community that can provide touch points and opportunities for those people to find each other in this world, whether you're in South Africa, Iowa, California. Like, can you smash people together to create? And look, and our dream is to, over the years, develop such a space that from beginning to middle to end, that movie production comes out of our community. If you're a guitar player, or you're a musician, and you want to score movies, and you have a DP in your space, and a script was written in your community space, like, that would be ideal. I mean, that would be amazing, right? And so, yeah, that's our goal. Our goal is to create something that has longevity, it's around for a long time, and provides just a shit ton of utility.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I just want to
sorry,
say
go ahead,
quickly.
Santosh.
Yeah. Matthew, everything that you said is so amazing to hear. And this is exactly what NFT projects are supposed to do, and bring people together and add value to it in the long term, right? Flipping NFTs is good, but it should basically have something that's going to add a long-term value to the community. And since when we posted the announcement on our Discord about this collaboration, a lot of our community members hopped on to your Discord, and it clearly shows with the feedback that they give us, right? They say that it's just like being in the Sketchy Book Club Discord, being over there, and I see there's a lot of like-mindedness in both the discords, which is awesome. So many creative people on both sides, and that's one of the reasons why we are so happy about this collaboration.
Yeah, thanks for that, Santosh. And so I want to make sure everyone up here is comfortable with folks because normally when I host spaces, I like to bring people up and have them ask questions. And first I wanted to get us all situated and talk about what we're here for and what our projects are about, at least at the level we've already done. But are you guys cool with taking some questions? Because I'd like to call on some folks.
I'm 100% fine with that. And I just want to say also that you can ask me anything. I mean, if there's a fan out there that wants to ask about something, like there's nothing off limits for me. Just to make that okay.
Probably I'll
Yeah.
ask you a quick question, Matthew. Then, is that a robot dog on the profile picture?
No, it's not a dog. It's a mosquito.
All right. Okay.
No, it's not. It's not a mosquito. I have a company called Beetle and Grimm's. So we create high-end boxed editions of Dungeons and Dragons, and that's and we do Magic, Critical Role, Pathfinder. But that's a stuffy. I'm the lead of our Magic brand, and so that's a plushie that's in our new Kamigawa release. It's an origami plushie. Sorry, there you go.
That's awesome. So hey,
I've been in my community for a long time now, since last year. So
Nine, is that you speaking?
Is that?
How you doing? Do you have a question for us?
Well, I'm just trying to get into the community of NFT on how to sell and bringing people together for a long-term goal, as people said here. So I'm working on this project lately about mosquito, like how to end anti-malaria in the community, how to end malaria in the community, and trying to give community a long-term goal on changing life and making impact on the health sector with this NFT idea. So I'm trying to push this project so far. Although we launched last 2 weeks on Solana blockchain. Actually, I use Hashleaf's code. Thank you,
Yeah.
Hashleaf, for making that possible. I appreciate. So far, I'm just trying to meet up with the public and the community, trying to tell the people how far we've gone and how we are having our roadmap coming up with apps, trying to help the health sector into the blockchain. You understand? That's what the project is all about, trying to bring healthcare to the blockchain. So I'm trying to reach out to the community out who is coming up with this project, So Mosquitoes.
Well, that's cool, man. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. I mean, it's good to reach out to the community. Let's talk about the creative. How about we talk about the creativity and needed to actually, hook yourself into the NFT space, because I feel like that's maybe even the genesis of what underlies projects, right? Is the ability to create a community. And it's not easy. I mean, Matthew, you were talking about this a moment ago. It's not an easy thing to do. It's very hard to get people together and do something. I myself, even at my level, I've been had so many times where I try to make something happen, and then someone gives up and the other person gives up, and you're the last person in the room trying to rally the troops. It's not an easy feat. And I just, it's not easy with the NFT space either. Getting a real good crew together is tough, but creating community is absolutely necessary in this space. And I feel like that Nine was up here kind of just talking about that.
Yeah, I think it's invaluable. But my question to you is you see these pump and dumps, you see these people with 100,000 people in their Discord, and those people aren't there for community. They're there to buy, the NFT. And so, we need to find a way to offer something that has real value to people's lives, especially the creative community, and also then inspire, an ape to come along or a whale to come along and invest. And that's the thing that's missing.
Pro Trader Mike, buddy. Nice to see you guys. Sketchies, Mojo. Hello, everybody. I got a great question for you, Matt, because I'm thinking like a businessman. Now, Pulp Fiction was one of the greatest movies as an independent film, and the people that invested in that movie as a private placement and in their early stages made a fortune. Are you going to be able to offer that possibly with this NFT project and these amazing movies that you're creating over the years? Because we don't know which one is going to be the next blockbuster, but if we will maintain ownership of that and a percentage by the amount of NFTs that we bought, the more bought, and we like that particular project, or it would relate to a percentage, we could make money as an investment that wise on the back end. Is that a consideration?
At this time, it's not because of SEC regulation. If the laws change, that's always an option down the road. But at this time, like the money that the movie will make, we have it detailed in our white paper. It'll go through the typical waterfall of like distribution of funds. So it's going to go to, there's going to be the back end points that the filmmakers will receive for working on the film, and then normally what would an investor would put in, those points will go to the community wallet. So the money will cycle back into the community so that we can then have the community do a vote for future movies. So we'll have filmmakers come on, we'll have 3 to 5 people. They'll each pitch their project. They'll have some sample scripts, a lookbook for their film, as well as any of their own directing work that people can watch, and then the community is going to vote, and whatever the community votes on, that movie will get greenlit. So until the SEC stuff changes, like the ability for kind of participating in the profits of the movie will be just in the voting aspect to keep the project making more movies, if that makes sense.
It does. Thank you. I don't have the 100 emoji, or I throw that out.
All good.
All good.
Funny Random, you had your hand up for a long time. Do you have a question?
Yeah, hi guys. So cool, Matthew. Like, I don't know how many of your movies I've watched, bro, but it's a lot. And I really appreciate you doing this project. Super cool.
Thank you, brother.
Like,
Thank you,
loved
brother.
Hackers, Scream. So cool. So cool. So question I had was, like, everyone probably knows me as the guy that talks about DAOs all the time, because that is kind of like my passion thing, right? But actually, it was more from like an intellectual property perspective. Like, how does that work with the movie creation and ownership rights and all that sort of stuff? It's just intellectual property, I suppose.
Sorry, I'm eating cheese. I thought Bill was going to jump in. Bill.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Let me eat cheese. So we're setting up an LLC. The company itself, so the Midnite Movie Club will own the ownership rights of that film. So
yeah, the DAO is basically, it's not like a traditional DAO like some other companies where the DAO is being used to run the company. Our DAO is being used just for creative decisions that we're going to be posting. So it'll be specifically related to the film that's being made in production, and then the creative choices of that film. Or if we're doing a pitching round, it'll be to decide which film gets made. But those are the decisions we're using our DAO for.
Yeah. So just so we're clear, that the creative team will present options that they're comfortable with making, right? So the filmmaker is still going to make his film, but like, for example, the filmmaker says, all right, here's this part. There are 5 actors I love for it. I'm good with any of them. We'll take that to the community will vote. That doesn't mean that they're 100% going to get that person, because that person may not want to do the movie. But we will take the first pass, the second pass, and the third pass, depending on what the DAO decides. But the original 5 choices will be presented by the filmmaker. And I think that goes across the board. Like, we will continually do things like, here are 3 trailers. Which trailers should we use? Here are 3 posters. Which posters should we use? So that the community all the way through is fully engaged in sort of, in every acceptable creative choice. Does that make sense? Like, we're not going to give the community the opportunity to, I don't know, to decide. You guys are writing a book together. We're not writing a script together. We're just using the DAO to sort of guide creative choices along the way.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. So it's more like a kind of curation versus creation. So just kind of giving options and allowing people to engage on those things. And if I understood you correctly, did you say that the LLC that you're going to be setting up is going to have the rights to the movie?
Yeah, so the Midnite Movie Club will sort of act as a studio. We're still, getting everything set up if it's LLC, S corp, all that technicalities. We're talking with people about what the best course is for that. But the rights to the film will remain. Normally when you make a film, if a studio buys it or something, the rights go to them, and then they're going to make all the money with like DVD deals and all this other stuff. But the rights to our films will remain with the Midnite Movie Club. So that allows us to, like, if we say we get other licensing deals or merchandising deals, we can actually be making more revenue that we can put back into the community wallet from other aspects, because we'll retain ownership of our films, unless someone outright says, hey, we want to give you X millions of dollars for this movie and we'll buy it outright. Then that will go through the waterfall where the filmmakers will make money off the sale and the community wallet will be funded through the sale. So yeah, our goal is to just keep everything moving forward. So we want to keep putting as much stuff back in the community wallet as possible.
Cool, thank you, much appreciated.
That's awesome. And I see Lavelli here. Hey, Lavelli, thanks for joining us.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, brother. What's happening?
Hey,
just having some tea.
What's up?
Brother.
Hey.
Thanks for coming, partner, to meet
What's
the
up,
sketch.
Mike? Oh, I'm just trying to change my schedule around because I was up late at night, and then people got me on this thing, Twitter, talking. So I'm up late, and then now I'm trying to stay up longer all day so that I can go to sleep around 7 and be back on a damn schedule. So that's
nice.
Yeah.
I hope you had a good night. I hope we're catching you after a good night, not a bad night.
No, I always have a great night. Everything's fine. Yeah. I'm just trying to stay awake. And this, I saw some friends in here and I saw that it looked really interesting. And so I said, okay. All right.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Awesome. Hash, let's see, have your hand up. I just want to quickly say, everybody, please retweet the tweet that's pinned up on the top. Let's get more people in here. This is going to be an awesome collab that's going to bring amazing creativity into the NFT space and organically show how beautiful the community is going to grow. So let's retweet the pinned tweet on the top and bring more people in. Daniel, back at you.
Yeah, sorry, man. My hand was up for no reason. It was the stupid emojis that I can't see. I can't seem to find my little fist emoji anymore. I don't know why they give me a purple heart, but that's what I have now to show.
Yo.
But anyway, I don't know
why that's tripping me out, by the way. I don't know how many of us, some of us seem to have the 100 in the fist like usual, and I also have the heart in the clap, and I'm like, what's going on right now?
You just have to
leveled up.
Yeah, I have the purple heart too.
Yeah, they took the 100 out and they put it in with hand claps, and then they put the heart in there, and it's just so there's no more rock, paper, scissors. So that's a mess up.
100 has been canceled.
No.
Give me at least a 99 or something.
Right?
Yeah,
I just
99.9.
99.9. Guys, I just want to mention something. I think what we have here tonight is really amazing. And for people down here in the chat who really have no idea about NFTs, I heard people coming up saying they want to get into the space. I just want to give some advice. We always do educational stuff. But the best advice that I can give you guys, if you're ever looking into starting your own collections, is become part of the communities of collections like these. Because this will give you a very good idea of how collections should be run, first of all, and the good people that's actually out there in the NFT space. You will come into both of our Discords and actually find community members, who, like I said, daily do chats and that's active with the community and so on. You'll find people that sticks through everything and everything that happens in the space with you. So join these spaces, right? And if you're not on these Discords, join both the Midnite Movie Club and the Sketchy Ape spaces and get your NFTs to become a part of the communities. You only need one NFT to become a part of this amazing journey. I mean, who doesn't want to have decisions being able to make on movies from holding in an NFT? So, Bill, by the way, I still need my whitelist. I don't know what I have to do. I'll do anything for it right now.
We're not going to make you jump through hoops. No, we'll have the mods add you in the Discord. Because right now we're just doing a whitelist roll. And then we'll do a wallet collection when we get closer. But yeah, we'll get you taken care of for sure.
Okay, and while I have the opportunity to talk to a world-class producer, I have sent you guys like a script on our private chats. You know, I had to take my chance.
Nice.
The book that
Nice.
you wrote way back. That's awesome, Daniel.
Just
Uh,
don't mind the blue scenes, please. It's really not how.
That's
So now I have
hilarious.
a
Anyway,
question
no.
about the book club. Can you guys talk more, like, for our community that is new to it, like how that works? Like, are you guys all writing the same story and continuing it, or is it like people just doing journal entries? Like, give us like a breakdown of like how this works and what your challenges were when you were, because you said there were some speed bumps along the way. I'd love to
Yeah.
hear more about that.
Yeah, of course, man. So, you know, we decided to start this book, and how we decided to do this was actually just by saying, cool, there's a Discord channel, and we're going to validate through a bot if you're eligible to write in it, and then let's just go wild. Let's everyone just write. So we were kind of scared that everyone's just going to write on top of each other. There's going to be no sense being made out of this. And what happened was people was actually, they were writing in a slow enough fashion to follow each other, like a nice chat. But at the end of the day, it was a nice kind of snowballing effect where someone would write a passage and then continue. What we did to kick it off, though, was we wanted to create a full-on book, not just a short novel, but like a full-length book. And what we did to facilitate that is give some rules. And someone was mentioning about copyrights and where do those rights live. We made it explicitly clear inside the pinned note that if you participate in this book, you actually hand over your written piece, right? Because the last thing we want is being able to publish this book and lastly have one person say, oh no, now I don't want my thing in there. And that could happen, right? So we'll run it through a few phases. We'll rewrite the book as well. But our whole initiative was to have people write. We give them the starting phrase or the starting passage, and then they continue. And then we do it chapter by chapter. We have some discussions after each chapter. We started a bookkeeper's role. And the bookkeepers, they actually maintain the book. They come up with storylines and actually draw out the graphics of who all the characters are that arose throughout everyone's imaginations. And when you read the book, it doesn't make sense, especially the first few phrases. But as you read, you start to get a feel for, okay, this is in a sketchy ape universe. In some way, someone turned into an ape, either by an experiment or so on. And it got quite creative, and there's mafia bosses and there's fight scenes and spies. It's really crazy to see everyone's imagination coming through, in one book. So I would say in three chapters, we basically have it all. And we try to focus on the hero's journey, when we discuss these things with our bookkeepers and so on. I see there's a few hands up if you guys have some questions regarding the book as well, as it's being written now in its current state.
Yeah, that is Sean, by the way. He changed his name and we all are struggling to identify who he is. Hey, Sean.
Hey, guys. I was gonna not necessarily about the story, but I was gonna touch on the topic of community. For those of you from the MMC community, I also go by Flatulent Ape. It's probably sounding kind of lame right now, but anyway, I was just gonna say, Daniel mentioned about community and the fact that if you're new to NFTs, you want to find a community like either one of these where they are genuine, and I can't reiterate that enough. I've tried, like any good NFT degen, to get into a couple of communities that had promise and try to get opportunities to get white lists, so that I have an opportunity to buy NFTs that look like they might have promise. Just like everybody else, I got into this hoping I'd, get lucky and strike it rich and sell a JPEG ape for $100,000. Hadn't happened yet, but that's still a dream, right? But I've tried in two different communities to get in, And it was apparent that the conversation that was going on in the communities was not genuine. It wasn't real. It was people in there, and I think Matthew mentioned it earlier, the hype projects, and you'll be able to tell the difference. So, if you're new to NFTs, and not even just start trying to start your own project, but if you're new to NFTs and you saw somebody in here that you recognize or whatever, and you're like, hey, I'm going to join this conversation, what you want to do is um, you want to find a community that's genuine. If you're in a community and they've got slow-mo mode on and everybody's like, hi, how you doing? Hi, how you doing? And the conversation just does not feel normal, that's probably because it's not. So find yourself a couple of communities where you can go in, where you can carry on a conversation. You can talk about stupid stuff. You can talk about serious stuff. You can talk about, being creative. I have little to no artistic talent, but what I do have is a crazy imagination, and I can come up with some pretty interesting stuff and pass it along, kind of like the sketchy ape eating the popcorn. So, but anyway, that's it. I'll leave it to the rest of you guys.
Sean, that's awesome. Yeah, no, and I appreciate you saying that too, because Hash Ups, you touched upon like the Sketchy Apes making a book together, but I feel like it's deeper than that. We've made a hell of a community that supports each other and is actively engaged with each other, and we started like almost like naturally producing educational content. Like we've already had several educational sessions in our Discord where we screen share and people teach us how to use Photoshop or like different types of programs. I'm still up to teaching people how to brew beer, just saying. And I'll go all out. But I mean, we're a community of creatives that is actively engaged, and I think that's what Sean's talking about. And I think that's also something that the Midnight Movie Club shares with us, is trying to build that community that's actually in it. Like not just like trying to pump and dump and do all that. So I really appreciate you, Sean. Tiff has their hand up. Tiff, what's up?
Hey guys, I just wanted to hop on real quick and say hello, and also to touch on what Flatulent Ape was talking about. The Sketchy Ape community is absolutely amazing, and it has been so amazing that it has destroyed most communities for me. So I measure any new project I join by what I've experienced in the Sketchy Ape book club. And I came across the Midnight Movie Club before the involvement with Sketchy Apes, and I had so much fun, and it's such a great project too. And I hopped in their Discord, and it was so welcoming and so nice. So it was really nice. They met my bar. And it was like a fantastic community vibe there as well. And I had reached out to Santosh, and I was like, oh my gosh, these guys are so fun. And he's like, oh, we have something coming up. I was like, oh, that's great. So it's just nice to see you guys doing something together, and love being part of the communities here. And I have to go to lunch now and have fun.
Thanks,
One
Tiffany.
last thing, because
Yep.
my daughter would die. We are obsessed with Scooby Doo, and Matthew is an honor to have shared a Twitter space with you just now. And I'm going to tell my daughter when I pick her up from school, and she is just going to pass out.
I hope you win points. I hope it gives you exactly what you need, and that they clean their bedroom.
I'm going to get so many points.
Tell them Matthew said you have to clean your room. That's direct from Shaggy's mouth.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose the points.
Yeah.
We're just going to keep it cool.
Okay. Shaggy said to eat that ice cream cone.
There you go. All right. Bye.
Yeah, I just want to
Have a good-
reiterate
Thank
the
you
point,
for the kind
Tiffany.
words.
Yeah, sorry, Bill. I didn't mean to
Oh,
cut
no,
you
good.
off. Yeah,
No, I
I
just
just
wanted to
want
say
to
thank you.
reiterate, okay, what Tiffany said. A day before we were supposed to have a call, Bill, Tiffany reached out to me saying, hey, have you checked out Midnight Movie Club? They seem to be a really good community, and also with a strong project and the white paper. So, just like Tiffany did, there were a few others in the community that also suggested this even before we had a collab going on. So, that's how you guys are building the community, right? So, I just want to say big ups to you for that.
Hey,
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm so honored that that all happened. And just hearing those kind words just really, reminds us while we're doing this that we're creating a good community and people are responding to it. So that's wonderful to
Word.
hear.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And if anyone isn't in our Discord right now, hop in there because I just posted a giveaway for whitelist spots. It's all you have to do is just click the little party emoji. No need to jump through hoops or grind for 30 hours. So hop on in there and yeah, give it a go.
Hey, I have a quick question. Nice to meet you all. And I rarely speak on these things, practically because I'm always working. But it's a really interesting collaboration that you two have got together there with Midnight Movie Club and the Sketchy Apes. I'm just wondering, how are you both going to work together with a collaboration? Are you going to release an NFT together, or are you going to just make something out of the, I don't know, ideas of what you've got? How is it going to come together then? That's all I'm asking.
Hey, that's a really good question. And as far as I know, we're collabing on this spaces. So as a community, we're like collaborating. Like we are right now just connecting, I think is maybe even a better word. But I'll let other people speak to it as well.
Yeah, I just want to also just talk to that. Sorry, Bill, I'll be quick. I just need to just say that, it's a great question. How do these collaborations usually play out? And we talked about this before. We don't do a lot of collaborations, and if we do, you'll see us very actively involved in Twitter Spaces because we actually go ahead. We sit with people that we collaborate with, and in this case, Bill and Matthew, and just to make sure that it was them, we had to put on our cameras. Obviously, we were all shocked and surprised and happy, and it was very nice to actually see them sitting that side, and we had to, we got to have a great conversation. And for us, it's crucial that we all, get to discuss and see each other at that level before we even collaborate. But seeing that this is our first space, we're looking into doing some more spaces together, getting the word out there, and supporting each other's projects because we really, a unique bunch, I would say, on the NFT space right now. And yes, Matthew, you mentioned something that we might be too early. I don't think so, because at the end of the day, the earlier the better. Think about 5 years from now. Would you like to say, hey, I was part, and no, please don't take this offense. Okay, I'm not even going to mention a collection's name. But would you like to say, okay, I was part of this hype group? Or would you say, I'm still part of the Midnight Movie Club and the Sketchy A Book Club, and we've made a movie and written a book together by now? And that's what it comes down to. So wherever this leads, Phil, Matthew, you guys can maybe talk more about this. But yeah, there'll be future collaborations from my side, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the good news. Everyone that we've touched in this space, and I mean that the most non-creepy way, has been super open and like super supportive. Like all these communities, we keep finding communities that are like, hey, we're here to help. Hey, let's do a spaces. Hey, let's do a cooking thing together. Like we are finding, like we're doing several movie nights. So my experience in the space with NFTs and their communities has been like incredibly open. And that's how we are picking up this momentum, right? Of opportunities like this. So we're super humbled to be here. And obviously, I just want to say thank you again for having us. But in terms of the creative process, like I don't think that you can have I don't think you can have an end result in mind when you start creating together. I think that the idea is like to get together, smash ideas, and at some point something is going to find. There's a word in meditation called you follow your charm. Like at some point as we talk and we engage, we will find something that charms us both and that we will be inspired to follow. And that's just, I think that that's in every aspect of the creative process. And so look, this is the second time we've met, the second time we've talked, this is the first time we put our communities together. Obviously, we have a lot of similarities, but what the future holds, I don't know. But it's we're certainly open to it.
So Matthew, I like what you were saying because, I mean, you were talking about creativity in a way that's like unrestrictive, right? Like almost the antithesis of creativity is like drawing the lines too hard in the sand and making a path that doesn't allow you to be creative. And I think that's super important. So I
Yeah,
appreciate that
but
perspective.
I also think that, just to jump on that a little further, look, I think that if you're creating to net out a result, then it's not then you're aiming. I don't know. Listen, everyone wants to make a movie. When you make a movie, you want to make a great movie, and so that's like there's value in that. But I just think that if you don't have the intention of building something together in an organic way, and that you're only doing something for a result, a lot of times that ends up as a failed exercise.
Yeah, that's very true. And one other thing that I would like to add is a collaboration should happen for the benefit of the community as well. And when I first had a chat with Bill, he said something that literally blew my mind. And Bill, I want to hear from your words again and on how the community is gonna benefit being a part of the Midnite Movie Club, right? How they're gonna get their opportunities, or they may get their opportunities in making music, or trying to learn how direction is done in different parts of the world. Could you elaborate on that for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we want to, again, like we've said, we want to try to support future filmmakers. Matt and I are both guys from the Midwest who had no connection to the entertainment industry, so we know how hard it was, to get where we are today. So we want to try to help, foster that next generation. So when we're filming our movies, when you do a movie, you kind of look around to see, which cities across the country like fit the look that you want. You also look at like tax considerations and stuff. So if we're filming a movie and you're in that city and you're a community member and you're like, hey, I want to be in the art department down the road, or I want to work in sound, we'll bring you on to like work on the film so you can actually get some real world set experience. You'll be working under the professionals that are already doing it, but you'll be able to like ask questions, be on set, and actually build up your resume. And then for those people that are out of the country or in different states, we want to have them involved as well. So there's a lot of elements that go into making a film. I mean, again, I know that at the end of the day, people always say it's a director's meeting, but it's really like a community medium, because you're working with so many different department heads and everybody has to come together with their own art to work on a project. So we want to be able to bring in, graphic designers to do artwork that's going to be on the walls, because, everything in a film that like winds up on screen, like you have to get clearances, and some like brands and companies will charge you to use their t-shirts or their posters, or, a lot of times you'll see in movies like an Apple computer, but they'll have a sticker over the Apple, but you can tell it's that silver MacBook, but they don't want to pay Apple the fee, or Apple didn't approve their film. So there's always these workarounds. Well, rather than, try to pay all that extra money to have all this other stuff cleared, we want to have our community members contributing so they can design t-shirts, design posters. Everyone will vote. We'll see what stuff was going to end up like in the kid's bedroom as like a movie poster or band poster. If you're a musician, you can send in some music cues and we can see if we can get your songs in there. Like the characters are driving in the car, they're gonna have like songs on the radio. Well, why would we pay a bunch of money to get a famous song when we can support someone in our community and have their song playing on the radio? If you're an editor, we want to do a thing later where we release footage from the movie and let our editors in our community cut together fan trailers that we can post online, and then those are actually helping you build your resume, because now you have footage from a real movie to cut a trailer. And we can do fun like contests and giveaways for those things. But yeah, we just want to try to support people no matter where you are, get you involved and get you started, because the hardest part about any creative endeavor, as you all know, is that staring at the proverbial blank page and just being like, okay, well, everything ahead of me just seems so daunting, and starting is just the hardest part. So it's like giving you that little kick in the butt to just start moving forward.
I love that, by the way. You're making me want to dust off my Final Cut Pro.
Nice. Yes. Put it to good use.
Hell yeah. And we've got some folks that have their hands up, so I wanted to get to some more questions. Matthew, do you unmuted? Are you done eating cheese?
I am done eating cheese. Thank you.
All right. So Mitchell, you got your hand up. Do you have a question?
Hey, hi guys. First of all, hope good morning wherever you are, good night wherever it is. This is incredible to hear just that how NFTs are being used in the filmmaking community in the world. And I kind of have a question for people that are trying to come up. But like you guys said, it's very difficult to break in the industry or just get anything made. And it's funny, Matthew. Actually, years ago, you were a judge for Oddfest for a horror competition, and our film was there. And it was a really like cool opportunity, and like, you got to meet a lot of people that way. And you know, short to short, I always feel like it's kind of like this little business card you have to kind of like showcase your talent, what you can do. And funny enough, we had made a short like last year during like the pandemic and all that kind of, well, still in it, but we had this short and someone had reached out to us because they saw we were making another one, and it was some guy who was telling about NFTs. I had no idea what they were at the time, and he was like, hey, I'd love to showcase your stuff and like try to like sell like pieces of like your film as like art. And I honestly didn't understand it, and we were kind of skeptical on the idea, but we were like, well, let's try to be inventive and just kind of see like what it's even about. And the guy was actually able to sell 2 of the clips, like 30-second clips from the shorts, and we were baffled that's even not like a possibility. But the question I have though is, I'm wondering, people trying to break in, it's like they try to get an actor attached to their feature, they try to do a showcase for the shorts, they try to get into festival circuit. But I'm wondering, how do you guys feel, or what do you think about a filmmaker being like, yeah, I've actually, with my shorts, I've actually been able to sell as an NFT, and as like with that perk of producers' ears up with that production company. Do you think that in the future that will be like a substantial like quote quote business card to help get a feature made or something to show that they can do something big on a bigger scale?
Yes, totally. Look, I think that you are the tip of the spear right now. The fact that you're even talking as a creative, that you're sitting in this space wherever you are, good evening, that you're already ahead of the game. I mean, we will not be the first. We are the first ones into the space to be producing as an independent movie studio where we make genre films. We will not be the last. Right? It's just a matter of the fact that we take responsibility for that. Like, we are stoked that we are building something that people will make better in time. But right now, like, we're doing shit nobody's ever done before. So to your answer is, first of all, I'm looking at your Twitter. You should for sure join our NFT space, and obviously this space as well. But you should join our Discord and be active as a community member. You don't have to mint, right? You don't have to mint an NFT to be in our community. Our community will always remain open. We will always engage there because we want our community to expand. But the ability to the utility behind NFTs, right? So my answer to you is the utility behind the NFTs is just beginning, and we have no idea where it's going to go. But as a filmmaker, they will come into play in the distribution, in the financing, in the marketing, in every single aspect of your filmmaking journey. NFTs and the blockchain will, in the next 5 years, touch every single aspect of that. And you are so far ahead by the fact that you're even sitting here having this conversation that it's going to do nothing but serve you in your journey. But to your journey, like, dude, you're active. Like, you're a filmmaker. You're in the genre space. You're our fucking bread and butter. Go get the whitelist. Join us. We need you.
Kind,
we need you, dude. We need you.
Thanks, I appreciate that, man. It is really good to hear from people that that have made it, because coming from a different like time getting into industry, it's like things are constantly changing, and I feel like I love the aspect of like still being able to do the thing we love to our core and our heart, but if it's a different way of getting there, then I'm all about it.
Yes.
So that's really good to hear, man.
Dude, here's the thing: we are creatives supporting creatives. Like, our whole thing is we're producing movies. Like, our whole point of view is we don't need you to hit the 4 quadrants that Marvel hits. We need you to make a badass horror movie. We need you to be in charge. Like, you need to be a great script. You need to be a great writer, director. You've got to deliver, but we're going to give you every opportunity to succeed. And that's our whole pitch. And in between, you're going to be surrounded by people. Like, if you're struggling with a script, if you're lost, if you're off track, look, I have this analogy. I'm just going to spit 2 seconds. When I talk to actors, the hardest thing for actors is like, well, what do I do? I've gone to college. I believe I'm ready to be a professional actor. What do I do? And the first thing I say is get to class. Yeah, but I went to 4 years of school. I want to go work. I'm like, I get that, dude. I get that that's what you want. But you have to go to class. You have to engage. You have to be surrounded by other people like you, because it's going to get hard. And it's easy to fall into the journey of life and forget that you're an artist. And so our whole thing is like, can we build opportunities to keep people connected to the idea and the belief that they're an artist and that it's just around the corner of working hard. Like, right, there's this thing, like when you work hard and other people around you are working just as hard, it inspires you to next level. And so come join us.
Yeah, this is incredible. And in my opinion, this is adding a long-term value to any person that's being a part of this. And soon there will be a realization point in the wider NFT community that only projects that are committed and executing the things that are making the community people lives better than what it was like weeks back or months back, they're going to stay for long term. And 5 years down the lane, it's projects that are executing all of these things are only going to last.
Yeah, well said, Santosh. Thanks, Mitchell, for your question. Speaking of creativity, we have someone with their hand up. Artemis has been a creative in the Sketchy Ape community for, I don't know, quite a while, and also has led an educational session. Artemis, you have your hand up. What's up?
Hey, yeah, thanks for the intro, Brew. I've been in the Sketchy Apes community since 20 minutes after Mint started. I was in a work meeting when the Mint started, so I think I have like my apes like 600 something. But I'm loving this discussion, and I'm not in the movie industry at all, so I was really curious. Something I think Matthew said earlier, that movies are very formulaic now, and 100% agree. And Bill was talking about how incorporating creatives into the movies, and I think that's amazing. But I am curious, from both of Bill and Matthew, your perspectives, what are the studios doing that are like diminishing your creativity? Like, what forces movies to be formulaic, and what do you think having your own movie studio with a community support instead of a studio support can like help with those problems?
Yeah, I think the biggest issue is a lot of the bigger movies, because again, they're like most of the movies that are getting made are, these giant tentpole films. So now there's a huge burden for them to make their money back and for it to be a success, right? So a lot of the decisions are being made by the marketing team, where they'll say, you have to cast these people, you have to do this. And this is also the same on like the indie level. Like I've been in conversations, talking with potential investors and stuff, and sales reps that'll say, hey, like, if you're doing this movie, like these are the actors that you should cast for us to be able to sell this to like an on-demand service. And a lot of the times you're like, yeah, but that actor's not good. They're like, oh, well, it doesn't matter, but they sell. You want to get their face on the box, because then people are going to, rent the proverbial box. Nobody really has boxes anymore, but the poster that'll be on Amazon. So they're basically, trying to like manufacture a sales item and then deciding like what the movie is, kind of reverse engineering it almost, if that makes sense. As opposed to like letting the filmmaker choose an actor that is going to be right for the role. I mean, how many of these like recent indie movies have you seen? Like one that immediately jumps to mind is Good Time. I don't know if you've seen that film, but like Robert Pattinson's in it. Normally you'd think, oh, he's like this heartthrob guy, like Twilight and all that stuff, but he is a fucking amazing actor, and his performance in that film, like I would have never thought that guy would be doing such a gritty film, but like those filmmakers saw something in him and did this project that's very like outside of the box. They're the same guys that did Uncut Gems, like putting Adam Sandler in that type of role. Like it's just the freedoms of like the creative vision that you can have and actually seeing that through to the end. And sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't, but you never have to worry about that doubt as a creative where you're like, oh, if I would have just cast this person, or if I would have cast that person, because again, these sales rep teams, they're going off of like old data. Like a friend of mine who's the producer on our film was telling me about a film that he was doing years ago, and the sales reps were like, you need to cast this person, it's going to sell it, in the aftermarket. And he's like, yeah, but I want this actor. And they're like, well, no, that actor won't sell films. So he cast the actor that they wanted. It did not help them sell the film. And then the actor he wanted to cast like blew up and had all these other projects coming out. And it kind of compromised his vision because he's like, I know that other person would have given the performance that I wanted, but I caved in and gave into the marketing people saying we're going to make more money this way. And again, at the end of the day, yes, it is the film business. You want to make money, but you also want to make a product that's good and that people are going to enjoy. So I think rather than having some executives tell you, hey, this is what the audience wants to see, and then be wrong, why not just go directly to the audience and say, what do you guys want to see? You guys like genre films. We're making a genre film. What do you want to see in that film? Like, here's 3 projects. Which movie is most appealing to you? Here's 3 actors. Who do you want to see playing this role? So to me, that's what's exciting about it, and why it's, to me, a little bit better than dealing with the typical system.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, it's that thing where Hollywood used to be run by people who were creatives that also made money, and now it's being run by Harvard MBAs, and it's fine. That's the business model that's prevalent right now, and everything goes in cycles, and eventually the artists will come back and run Hollywood. And we're not saying that there aren't movies out there. I just threw the phone. Sorry. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I was saying. I was blithering, but Hollywood. All right, I'm back. Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah. There's movies out there that succeed. There's definitely movies. Like Saw is a movie that like blew up, right? And that was made outside of the studio system, and it caught fire and made $1 gazillion and a gazillion sequels. But they're few and far between. And so that's our answer, is to empower the creatives and ask the audience. Which is
thank you for that. Sorry, Matthew, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just about to say, which is exactly what Bill said. But that moment where it got quiet, I felt like I had to say something else. Sorry.
I saw you.
I was worried my mic was muted the whole time.
I thought I rugged you all, but no, thankfully not.
No, we're all good. But I mean, I'm noticing a theme here, and it's kind of, the theme is basically like freedom to do something. I mean, I don't think that you were babbling at all, Matthew. I think that's a really fair point. How, like you said, it used to be creatives that were making something and making money. Now it's people that have a bunch of money that are trying to create something just because they want to make money. Not all of them, of course, but a lot of them. And it's back to that theme of like, don't restrict the creative mind. And it's a bit revolutionary in a revolutionary space, right? The NFT world is the Wild West, and for that, there are pros and cons. I mean, you can get robbed in the NFT world, right? Like legit, the Wild West. But also, you have a lot of freedom, right, to gather together and to do something and to be an unrestricted creative. And I think that's an awesome thing. Daniel, you have your hand up, and I want to just pass the mic to you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Brew. I just want to reiterate, because I've been hearing this theme, and I don't think this has really been pointed out, right? I don't think people realize how special this is to think about the real world, right? Without NFTs. Imagine the Web3 wasn't there, the NFT space wasn't there. You would go to college or university and then come out. And if you now, particularly in the film space, that just focus on that, or the graphic design, or whatever it might be, your dream might be to be a part of a movie production, right? And be a part in seeing that process. Well, to get there, you need to get into some studio, and that's kind of hard sometimes. You might not get into the studio at all, and you might lose, hope. But with Web3, and especially with Bill and Matthew's project now, you actually get the chance, right, to buy yourself a ticket to sit front row seat and see how this all kicks off. I mean, I learned a tremendous amount just by people asking you guys questions. And that to me is even value, just being in a space, being able to ask you guys these direct questions. Like, I always wondered why people put a sticker on the Apple laptop, It doesn't make sense to me, because, people make films all the time, but I guess when you sell it as a product, yes, obviously these brands, they come and ask for, their cut, I guess. But I think that's what the Web3 space allows people to do, and I think, and I hope
that by collaborating with you guys in this way, by highlighting these things, that more projects like this gets kicked up and starts up and introduce people into a different light into the NFT space. Being able to get an NFT and being part of something real, something that's valuable, and that you can learn from, and that's a lifelong experience. And I think with your project particularly, I'm looking forward, especially, to be a part of the process. I told you guys I'll definitely mint. For the new people in here, please go and join, the Midnight Movie Club's Discord. Go and get a whitelist. I just got one now. Join our Discord. Come and check out what we do as well. I mean, we're a creative bunch, and we're going to have a lot of fun in the future together. But I think we just need to highlight that that's how easy it is, right? And you can either sit and enjoy the show, or you can take part and you can actually become a part of this revolution. Because it doesn't matter how you look at it, we are now in the stage of making history, and I keep on iterating this till it bleeds out of everyone's ears. But I want to say that until we have made history, right? Because this is being written right now. So I'm so glad everyone's here in the chat tonight, and that we're getting the opportunity to learn more about this.
Awesome. Before I get to Sean, I quickly want to check with Funny Random. You had your hand up, and then I think you got disconnected and you came back up. Do you have something to say?
Yeah, Twitter just keeps rugging me at the moment, so standard stuff for everybody. But yeah, I wanted to bring up a project that I'm aware of and kind of a bit involved with it. So it's not a shill, it's just more a case of maybe there's an opportunity for Midnite to maybe collaborate with them, or maybe they know them. But are you guys aware of the Big Head Club? They made the Stoner Cats NFT series and show.
Yeah, we're actually doing a spaces with them on Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to bring them up. I thought that'd be really interesting for you guys, because you've got the same ambitions, but they're not looking at movies, they're looking at animated series, and you guys are doing something different. So maybe there was an opportunity there. But cool.
Yeah, thanks for that, though. We agree. We totally agree.
Yeah, very excited for that. Curious to see how everything's been going with them.
Yeah, they've got a great community as well. They're just setting up their DAO and doing all that stuff, and that's where I've been working with them. And yeah, I just think what you guys are doing, decentralized creation, curation and creation is it's just a new paradigm that we've never really experienced before. So we have no idea where this is going to go, how it's going to get there, and what's going to produce in the end. But I think rather than we're going to have essentially this, rather than sort of like generative movies and TV series, because most things are kind of rip-offs of previous things now. It feels like a lot of things have been exhausted, or we get onto like a theme of things. So we'll go into like zombie mode for like a few years, then we'll get into wizard mode for a few years, and then we'll get into whatever's next, basically. But I think we can now actually break that cycle, because we're going to have not just sort of like a group of people sitting around a boardroom in a movie studio somewhere. We're going to have communities or people all over the world contributing ideas and coming up with things that no one would ever come up with on their own. But because you've got 1,000 people sort of laying ideas over ideas, you get true creativity. So I'm really excited for it, and just want to say thanks for letting me up.
Yeah. What can I ask you a question real quick? So tell me,
Sure.
You're in that community. What do you look for in a community? Like, why do you like that community? I want to look to emulate that.
Good question. It's kind of the similar reasons why I really like Sketchy Apes. Super open. No, you can go in there, you can talk to anyone. You don't have to have been there for very long. You can ask any question, and someone will respond, right? And they'll always respond in a way which is like, how do you not know the answer to that? They'll never give you that answer. They'll always be like, yeah, here's the answer. I was asking that question a week ago. So there's that part of it. And then there's a sense of, with what you guys are doing, and the same with Sketchy, the ability to be involved in the curation and creation of things. I think that's really important. And then there's just a sense of, there is something about NFTs, which is just bonding, right? There's this shared group thing. And, that sense of ownership of that NFT. It's why I realized the other day, out of all the things I own, NFT is actually the thing that is the most secure. Like the government could take my house if they wanted, the banks could shut my bank accounts if they wanted, thanks Canada, but the NFTs I've got, they can't, no one can touch them. So like, I didn't realize how important that was actually, but that just really dawned on me. So I think everyone having that sort of shared sense of ownership, and then the ability to like contribute to a conversation and know your voice is heard as well. And I think that's the beauty of what DAOs are, right? Like to have a voice and not be drowned out, and then to be able to like actually have suggestions as well and have those actually heard. So you're not just like at the back of a pack, kind of trying to shout over the top. You can speak at like a normal volume, and everybody would get heard eventually, and everyone gets to have their say. So there's this constant sort of touch points with the community, like, and I think that's really, really important, and that's one of the reasons why I like what they're doing. So I hope that answers your question for you.
Yeah, no, it was great. I love it. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Cheers.
I had a quick question. I'm on the Discord, can't find a whitelist. I see something for whitelist, and then it looks like a Where's Waldo type thing.
Oh, it was in the giveaway channel. We did a quick contest giveaway for the whitelist, but we're gonna run another one this afternoon. We have another Twitter Spaces actually coming up at noon, so we'll run one during that as well. So keep an eye out for it. And we announced it in the chat, so if you just kind of hang out, we'll be announcing when that giveaway goes active.
By that time, I will be fast asleep.
Well, we do it all the time, so come on back now. You hear?
Yeah, hit me up if you want. I'll definitely get in. I'll talk to some people about it in the Telegram groups, and then we have a show that we're doing for photography and other things, and I'm sure that they're going to be really interested in this.
Dude, I just followed you. I want to see your I love photography, so I'm now following you. So yeah. I will come listen to your spaces. So yeah.
We have sometimes we're helping out communities with due to the street photography being when I'm shooting, it's like really close up, so I'm staying away from co-videos right now, so I have time to talk to people about we help out a lot of people, so it's fun.
Awesome.
NFT space. But yeah, I think there's on the photography and also on the NFT space, I think that there's a lot of people that would be interested.
That's awesome, Livelli.
I just want to say, sorry, I muted myself because I was about to eat some more cheese. Can I just say that, look, the reality is that if, like you said, I'm going to go tell people, I just want you to know, like, my heart balloons when you say that, because it's really cool to build something organic. It's really cool to build something that's going to last a long time. And it also really sucks sometimes when you're like, oh my God, are we going to make it? Are we doing the right thing? Are we trying to build something that nobody really wants? So when you say we're going to tell people, I just want you to know that's the single most powerful thing everyone in this spaces can do, right? You can go out and tell 10 people that, hey, Midnite Movie Club, Sketchy Apes, like those are two communities building cool things. You should check them out. And that changes the trajectory of our entire creative journey. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I mean, it's because you guys are really excited about it, and also, you've been staying on the treadmill. You have talent. You've been, and not just talent, because with talent, and then you took time to procure skill, and that's mastery. And if you stay on that fucking treadmill, like what, you touched on this earlier, and that's what had me right there, is because you have to stay on this treadmill if you want something to happen. You have to give 100%, or you're just not gonna make the best. And you guys are very excited about this, and I'm on the website looking through the roadmap and just very interested.
Word. I mean, look, listen. Just in terms of going back to the title, creativity in the NFT space, you have to be able to endure every single success and failure, right? Because every time you have a show and you're like, oh, this is going to change me. This is going to change my trajectory. I'm going to shoot this thing and it's going to make a huge difference. Sometimes that happens. But when it doesn't, you're like, how do I pick myself back up? I've auditioned 10,000 times. I mean, I literally, as we were starting, I was cutting together another audition that I know I'm not going to get. And I submitted something yesterday and I watched it back and I'm like, God, that sucked. And so I redid it I've been in this industry for 31 years, and I'm still trying to be incredible. And so look, and that takes endurance.
As soon as you stop trying to be incredible, and then it's just like the joints in your body. As soon as you stop moving, you're done. You've got to keep going. I mean, and I heard someone speaking, I think it was you or someone else, that about get in the classes. What do you do now? Take more classes. That's what you do. Continue to learn. You got to evolve. There's so many people that just are still in the flip phone stage, and they get in the smartphone stage and just give up and get into it. You know,
Yeah.
and if you then you're just going to get left behind.
Yeah, there's a it's a funny story. So I just a little about my life. Like I thought I was the shit. I had a fancy house and fancy cars and kids and a family and a wife. And look, I had always made money and I'd always done really well. And I was believing this hype in my life. And at some point, I stopped working. At some point, I went from like the boy that was in, Scream to like a man, and people in Hollywood was not interested and didn't really care. And so I had this moment where I'm like, well, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to, my father-in-law said to me, if you went off and sold pharmaceuticals, like, became a salesman, you would kill it because you're super charming and you'd do great. And so I had this moment. I'm like, oh my God, my father-in-law wants me to sell pharmaceuticals. I got an offer to do Dancing with the Stars. And I'm like, my agent was like, if you do Dancing with the Stars, you could make like $1 million. And I'm like, and at some point I had this moment where I was like, oh, I don't want to make $1 million. I don't want to sell pharmaceuticals. I want to represent to my kids what it is to spend a life as an artist. And when it gets hard, you can't stop. You have to double up. And so I fired my agent. I fired my manager. I fired my lawyer. I sold our house. We got rid of our cars. My wife went back to work, and I just reset my life. And I started to consider my journey and understand that my journey is about being a blue-collar actor. And that means that you have times when you are successful and times that you're not.
Because you're around the same kind of people I am. And you notice a lot of them are in, oh, yeah, well, now I'm not making a movie now. I'm doing real estate. It's just, and it's nothing, there's nothing wrong with real estate. I've got real estate. But the point is, I took off for 2 fucking years and said, okay, I'm going to go travel, do this, whatever. I'm just done fucking with stuff. And then I got bored as hell.
Yeah.
I go back to doing what I love to do. And that's what.
But people don't talk about that. Look, right before the pandemic, I was back in class. I'm 52 years old. I wasn't at the time. I was like 50. But I was like, dude, I'm back in class. And everyone in the class is like, what are you doing? You're like that guy in the thing. And my wife's like, yeah, you should go back to class. You're not that great.
Pacino's doing class. Pacino's
what?
doing class.
Yeah, well, Pacino's always done classes.
Yeah.
He's always done classes. Always. Yep. Anyways, but thank you for everything. Thank you for stepping up and saying all that. That was good.
Yeah, it's really awesome to have leaders who are so much into education, right? And when leaders like that, who are constantly learning and starting projects to help others learn, that brings a lot of inspiration to people around. And this talk over the last few minutes has been really inspiring for me. And just a mandatory commercial here, guys. Midnite Movie Club minting soon. Please join the Discord. Go make sure that you get that whitelist. And Sketchy Ape Book Club minted 80% now, completely organically. Both amazing communities and amazing leaders that you'll not find in many NFT projects in this space. Hop onto both the Discords and see what value you can get. And I'm sure there's tons that you can extract every day. And I want to get back to Sean, who's had his hand up for a while. Hey, Sean. Gen X.
Hey, Santosh, I'm back, and I'll try to make it quick. Matthew, you just touched on something, and I just want to say, for everybody that's in here, I'm just about as old as Matthew is, just a couple of months shy. And if you'd have asked me 8 months ago if I'd have been working with a team of really good individuals from the four corners of the earth, and that that eventually I'd be, having conversations with celebrities, I would have said you're crazy, man. My kids think I'm crazy. I've got, you know, kids that are near 30 years old, and they don't understand why their dad is doing this weird stuff in NFTs. But anyway, the point I wanted to make is I've been given this opportunity to work with some really great people. I've been given an opportunity to be in spaces like this with some really great people. And I just want to say, this is a great place. And I hate to use the term, but this is a great place to do some networking. Um, I don't hold any, hopes that I'll be able to call up Matthew one day and say, hey, let's go out and have a pizza together. But I've been in this space right now with this group of people, and I'll be honest. I've said this before. In the last 8 months, I've been getting a lot of master classes in all kinds of things, business. We're learning about creativity and what it means to be a creative and to have the freedom to be creative. So point being, this is a great place and this is a great time to expand your network. Take a minute, go through and like and follow the people here. And if nothing else, like I said, you may not have personal conversations with these folks, but you'll be able to see what they're doing. And I take what I'm learning in Twitter Spaces when I'm in a space like this, or in Discord with Sketchy Ape, the community I work with, the team I work with. I take all that and I look at it as I am getting educated by these people. And if I were to go to school for that, for the business that I've learned, for the mentality, the psychology behind what we're doing, if I'd have paid for that, I would have had to have spent thousands of dollars. So just take a moment, like and follow the people here, and take this as you've been given an opportunity to network with some pretty special people. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks. That's really
Oh,
awesome. Before I get to Sarah, I quickly want to say, I think, I was talking about leaders, and I quickly want to say something about Daniel that continues to inspire me. And I'm pretty sure this is true to a lot of people. I really feel emotional every time I speak about Daniel. And he's the kind of a leader that is so selfless, and he has helped launch thousands of projects with his open source code, and he doesn't expect anything. So that's why I call him, a selfless contributor. And many people, even on the Sketchy Book Club Discord, call him like, the unsung hero of NFT space, because he contributed a lot to the NFT space that is just going in the void, and he's not craving for anything in return, in spite of being so influential under the scenes. And I'm just super proud to be knowing Daniel as a friend, and also to be working with him in this project. And when we follow leaders like this, I truly believe that there's only good that's gonna happen in the end, right? Yeah.
yeah.
That's all I wanted to say. And yeah, we can go to now
By the way,
Sarah.
Bill, you should tell the story about Daniel and his code and what it's meant to you.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, like I can't stress this enough, but just finding your YouTube channel is what inspired me that I could actually launch this project. Because I'd been thinking about it for a while, and I was like, oh, this would be a great idea, but I don't know how to I don't know anything about coding or the art generation and all that stuff. And then I don't even remember how I stumbled upon it. But now I share it with everybody, like all my friends who are any sort of dev or programmer for video games or whatever. I'm like, hey, you guys need to start learning Solidity and start looking into smart contracts and everything. But yeah, like once I played with your art generator, I made like a little smiley face thing on my iPad, drew a couple of variations, different backgrounds, and ran it through. And I was like, holy crap, like That's pretty cool. Like at first I didn't know what generative art was. I just was like, the computer drew these. Like I didn't fully understand the concept. But then once I saw how it all worked, I was like, oh, this is totally doable. And then it's kind of launched from there. And thankfully, like I got to the point where I realized I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely don't want to be programming this contract myself, and we have the Sneaky Vamps team is going to be helping us doing our contract and everything. But it's because of you that I actually, like, you were the kick in the butt that I needed to go, oh yeah, this is totally doable. Like the way you walk people through step by step in your videos, I appreciate that because I'm someone who just loves detail when I'm learning, because it's like, show me once the right way and I can like learn how to do it and not have to ask a million questions, where people sometimes half-ass and they leave details out and stuff. So I just got to commend you for how well to like put together your videos are. And thank you.
Well, I have to say thank you. Like, you got it right? Because I think there's two kinds of people. Like, if you get it right, you love it. If you get it wrong, man, you hate me because you just spend like 2-3 hours and you couldn't finish it. So luckily, you were one of the individuals who could finish it. But I'm glad it helped. And the fact that I actually wanted to ask. The whitelist, all these kind of things, and you said the Sneaky Vampire guys, they're going to help out. That is super cool. These guys know what they're doing as well. No, and Santosh, thank you for that. But you guys don't know how I hate that kind of thing, Santosh. I'm climbing into my shell. I even walk away from the phone. That's how bad it gets. Because the thing is, it's I'm blushing. My whole face is freaking red right now, man. It's not even hot yet. It's in the evening. But thank you. It really means a lot. But yeah, it was a sad day for me as well. Just a small story. Today was actually the day I was allowed to tell my team at my company where I'm working, my last month, that I'm leaving. And it was very sad. I've been spending with the team over there, a tremendous amount of time. I spent the last 3 years of my life doing development with them and taking everyone through the React.js code and being a front-end developer. And when I told them, that I'm leaving, it wasn't like I'm leaving for another company. It was just, I'm leaving for a community. I'm leaving for a space. I'm leaving for basically an idea, right? And that idea is to thrive in this universe, the Web3 space. And it was a truly sad day for me because as soon as I told everyone there, man, like I seen like my friend cry on the over the phone. That was a bit strange, but apart from that, it was a very nice day, very rewarding as well, knowing that this is the start of my journey being full time in here. So I appreciate the great feedback, Santos, and thank you, Bill, for that, because it just means it validates it to me that it's worth it being in here, right? Because I'm not trading something bad. I'm trading actually my current job and position for something amazing in return.
Oh yeah, Daniel. Yeah, and thank you, Santosh. I feel like, Santosh, you always say the kindest things about Daniel, and I love hearing it because I feel it too, and I feel like a lot of us do, obviously. I appreciate that. And Sarah's been super patient. Sarah's been having her hand up. What's up?
Hey everyone, thank you for inviting me up to talk. I'm very new to the NFT community and I've been going to amazing spaces such as this just to absorb knowledge, and I feel really inspired by everything that you're doing, and I love everything that you're working on. I'm really interested to learn more. So a little bit about me. I host an entertainment show on YouTube featuring celebrity interviews, but it's not just about the current stuff they're working on. It shines a spotlight on their entire lives and paths for people to get into certain professions as well. I sort of love going in depth and sharing knowledge with people. And, Matthew, if you'd like to chat about the stuff you're working on at any point in the future, you're very welcome on my show to do that. And, shine a spotlight on the Midnite Movie Club and all that goodness too. And so, yeah, I don't really have a lot to contribute at this point in time to this conversation because I'm just learning. But thank you to everybody for creating this space. And yeah, if you want to talk more, I'd love to.
Thank you. Thank you for the offer.
That's awesome, Sarah. I quickly want to say, I was just going through your bio as well. You've got some really incredible talent. And we at Sketchy Book Club, we are so much into education. And we are happy to welcome you into our community and tell you anything about NFTs that you want to learn anytime. Just hop onto the Discord. You'll see Officer Ape. That's his permanent address, the general chat over there. feel free to ask any questions. And if not me, the entire community is gonna try and help you out with any questions that you have. This is a risky space, and we just need to find out how to navigate safely among all the people that are over there.
Absolutely, and I really appreciate that offer. Thank you, and I very much will be reaching out because I've got a ton of stuff to learn, and I'm trying to get up to speed as quickly as I can so I can take more part in these conversations and see how I can be more of an active part in the community as well, both as, you know, someone that loves art and also as an artist myself.
That's all.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Hang out, stick around. I want to say one thing before I continue to Wolf, because I see they have their hand up as well. But from what I understand, Midnight Movie Club has back-to-back spaces today. So maybe in like 20 minutes, they might have to get it moving, or maybe even sooner. So they have a chance to, go to the bathroom and eat some more cheese before the next space. So I want to just be mindful of time, and I'm going to be mindful of time. I'll probably say we should rug in like 15 minutes tops, like just be kind, because I really, they're hustling between spaces, and I just want to be cognizant of that. But all that said, Wolf does have their hand up. Wolf, do you have a question, or do you want to make a comment to any of our speakers?
Yeah, hey, I'm really interested in the Midnight Movie Club idea. And Matthew, I'm a huge fan of your work. I've like from the hackers days onwards. So it's great to share a space with you. I am I've heard all of the really interesting advantages of using NFT and DAO for like funding and controlling the project, because it gives people this extra layer of like involvement and control than you would get with, I don't know, a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter or whatever. But I hope you don't. Oh, and also, I'm really sorry about the like massive negative reception you got when you initially like came out on Twitter and said you were, getting into an NFT project, because there is a huge amount of negativity in the space. So I will put my cards on the table and say that I'm a huge skeptic of NFT, but I hope that a sort of respectful, skeptical voice is welcome.
100%. Listen, nobody has to, like, I don't know. My whole thing is like, listen, I'm a hardcore Democrat. During the year of Donald Trump, I was like, I'll engage anyone in a conversation. That's the fucking power of being a human being. So nobody has to sort of be into NFTs. That's fine. But the idea of like offering death threats to somebody who is a little much,
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not the way to bring people onto your side, is it? And also it's just like nothing is that important.
No.
Like, and that's not the way to engage with people. But so like the time's running up and I don't want to waste any more of your time, but I was wondering about how the sort of financials of it, how you pictured it working out, because I picked like the most successful, lowest independent budget film I could think of, which was Joss Whedon's Much Ado About Nothing, which was like that estimated about a $500,000 budget, like $650, $1,000 in today's money, which if you were going to fund something like that with the initial run of 5555 NFTs would run about $120 per NFT, right? So people are going to buy in, and then you're going to have $650,000 worth of NFTs in the community wallet. No, that's not right. Ethereum in the community wallet.
So just so we're clear, our mint price is 400 US. So
okay,
it'll be.
So you're going for a bigger budget than that, because
our expectation, just so
let's say you've. Sorry, man, I keep talking over the top of you. So my main concern, right? So you've got 400 load of ETH. $400, let's say,
right.
Times 5555 sitting in the community wallet. Yeah. If you'd got that money in through a GoFundMe or another traditional method of like fundraising, you would have that many dollars sitting in the account somewhere. But now in your community account, you've got a number of ETH. can you ensure that if someone steals it? Are you able to, like, what happens if someone hacks into the account and steals all the ether? Or what happens if the value of ether crashes?
Yeah,
like, it can vary day to day from like
100%.
$1 to whatever.
Well, it's not what.
Like, so how are you mitigating against that kind of thing, that kind of risk?
Great, it's a great question. I'm sure Bill's going to want to jump in. We don't expect ETH to go down to $1, right? If you look at ETH over time, it's trending up, not down. It definitely
it's like $3,000 now, right?
Yeah, and it trends up and down constantly. But in time, we believe that the cryptocurrencies over the duration of time is going to trend up. And we have to take precautions. Look, full disclosure, I bought 3 sneaky vamps. I had 2 honoraries, and somebody came in and hacked me and stole them all. I had literally bought them that day, and somebody came in and stole everything. So there is no doubt that one of the downsides of decentralized finance in this world of DeFi is that it's the Wild West. And people, if you're listening, have to get on a cold wallet. You have to take precautions. You've got to find ways to protect your investment because the scammers are getting way, they are ruthless, they are soulless, and they will find a way in. So all that said, as soon as that ETH lands, we immediately stick it in cold wallets, and we separate it out and we protect it from being stolen. So that's like day one, right? It goes directly into a cold wallet, and makes it impossible to steal.
We're also looking into. We've been advised by some other groups to look into a Gnosis safe as a way to kind of ensure the wallet and keeping everything a little bit more secure. So it's almost the way it was described to us. It's almost like having nuclear codes where you have to have multiple people turning a key in order to approve the transaction. So picture it like having like multiple ledger devices in order to send stuff out. So that's, something we're looking into to make it more secure. And also we have to remember too, that like the film industry is still a very fiat. It's still completely fiat based. So we're going to have to convert that ETH to US dollars to do locations and gear rentals and all that stuff. So we're going to be talking with the accountant about like what's the best way to do that. Is it better to take the money for the budget immediately and put it into fiat so that money is like locked into place and the budget is secure, and then we can leave the rest in ETH to ride the waves up and down. And then we also will have, because you have to pay taxes when you convert, like going between the two, you'll be paying capital gains taxes. So that's another issue to consider. And then on top of that, like when the movies make money, like if we get a deal with Netflix or Amazon on the film, that's going to be coming in fiat. So we'll have to make the decision of, do we convert this back to Ethereum or do we hold it in fiat for the next movie to avoid the capital gains tax that could be put on it? Because again, we want to make sure that as much of the community wallet money is going towards making the film and not just like constantly going back and forth paying taxes on the same money that's just getting transferred, to and fro, if that makes sense. But again, these are all concerns and stuff that we're talking with like, the accountants and stuff about to make sure we're doing it the right way and keeping everything legal, but also, trying to retain as much of the money for filmmaking as possible.
Yeah, and sorry, I just want to jump in real quick because the fact that you said Gnosis safe to me inspires like a lot of confidence in the technical like acumen of the team at Midnite Movie Club, because that's legit. Like,
oh, good,
you're,
awesome.
You're definitely being protective of the wallet.
Yeah, it's their lifeblood of making the movies and stuff, so it's like we got to do everything we can. Again, we're learning about this stuff as we go. The space is constantly changing. New innovations are coming to make it easier to purchase, also ways to make it more secure. Like we said, we're still in the Wild West, so we're taking it day by day, but we're just making sure that we're, being fluid and willing to adapt at every turn of the path.
Yeah.
So,
And I just want to go back to Wolf's skepticism, because I don't know if he ever actually got to what he was like skeptical about. And we're gonna have to go soon. We're actually jumping in another space, and anyone's free to follow if you're just bored out of your mind and want to listen to us ramble for the next 2 hours again. But Wolf, do you want to jump on and just continue the thought? Because I kind of like jumped in. And I don't know if I ever got a chance to address your concern.
Well, like one of the concerns about how you're gonna secure the money and make sure that that side of things is taken care of, that's definitely been answered. You guys like obviously have an eye on that, which is great. The other thing I think that I was a little are people who are buying these NFTs clear on the fact that they're getting voting rights and participation rights, but they're not getting any kind of ownership of the overall product or IP? Because I think that's what a lot of people think they're getting when they buy an NFT. And like that would be really misleading, because you'd like it, that
For
would be
sure.
completely impossible from an IP
100%.
standpoint anyway.
For sure.
Yeah, and we were very clear in our white papers and on the website, you know, that buying the NFT is getting you a club membership for the Midnite Movie Club. It's not an investor participation like traditional, you know, in the past, like how investors would invest in the films. But again, it's more like, you know, again, we like to pitch it as Kickstarter on steroids. So it's like doing sort of a similar thing, but giving the audience more power. And when you do a Kickstarter, you don't actually own the movie. You're just helping get the movie made. But we're giving you a bunch of stuff on top of that, like the ability to weigh in on decisions, and then the night school stuff, and then the community aspect. So
Yeah, it is.
That's sort of, we're trying to be as clear as possible with all that.
It's a one-time investment also, right? If you buy an NFT and we're around for the next 100 years, your NFT is good and you're in. I just want to say too that there's
it's like your film school.
Yeah, there's all kinds of rug pulls in the world, and everyone should know this, right? People are getting ripped off like crazy. It's disgusting and horrible. What's important, and if you're new to NFTs and you're not really sure, like our names are on it. We've been here for 2 hours. My name is Matthew Lillard. That's Bill Woodwardy. Like we're not going anywhere, and so I think that I'm hopeful that people understand that we're holding ourselves accountable to do the things we say. And if you haven't checked it out, our white papers are legit. We worked really hard on them.
Yeah,
we're super proud of them.
I checked out the light paper. That was really well put together. I didn't like have time to read through the white paper yet, but I'll definitely give it a read.
Awesome.
But the light paper was super easy, super accessible, but also covered like a lot of things that you were planning. So, you know, that's good.
Great, awesome.
That's good. So yeah, like that's it. Thanks for hearing
Cheers,
me,
man.
guys,
Yeah.
and best of luck.
Thanks, man. With that,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
awesome.
I think we have to balance. I have to pee.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. You guys got to get going. I know you have a back to back.
Yeah, if anyone
else wants to stick around.
Yeah, if anyone had questions, they can hop into that other space as well. Or, I mean, if you guys are continuing the spaces, obviously stay here. But if they have any pressing questions, I'm sure we'll be doing a Q&A at the end of... That's going to be with House of Legends.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you guys go ahead and run. I don't want to keep you, hold you up. Go ahead and start your other spaces. I encourage everyone in this space to go listen in that space and like check it out, because this is a good conversation. I've got to go do things, so I might not join, but everyone please join. We'll keep this spaces open a little bit longer, just to like, get some more questions out there and chat a little bit more. Maybe we'll all migrate over there. But Matthew, Bill, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys for having us. It's an honor.
It means, like I said it again and again, but this is the kind of opportunity that changes our trajectory. So we really appreciate you. And we look forward to doing shit like this continually, right? Just all the way through, starting a relationship that just doesn't end. So you guys, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Cool. What's up, guys?
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, mad love.
Cheers.